Dear 8th Burial family, you're welcome to another episode of our amazing wholesome baking class. Wholesome because here we make only the best and organic bread and pastry recipes. Today I'm going to excite your taste buds and your eyes with something very, very unique and very, very delicious. We're making chicken bread pie from scratch. I call it chicken bread pie because I'm using the dough I use for my potato I'm sorry for my protein bread, right? But we're going to be using protein flour. So don't be scared. It's not like we're making bread at all. We're going to be making chicken pie, but we're going to be using our protein flour to make it. So this is a snack that you can eat guilt-freely because from the flour to the filling, everything speaks healthy. You're going to be joining me on this journey, and I'm sure you're going to learn 18 or 2 about how to make delicious and healthy, very, very, very healthy chicken pie. But first of all, please, I'd like to indulge you to permit me to shape my sourdough bread that is undergoing bulk fermentation. Join me as I shape this sourdough bread. You watch and learn along with me. So as I said, the bread is already undergoing, okay, let me just do it here. It's already undergoing bulk fermentation, right? And so for now, what we're going to be doing is cutting it into the sizes that we need. After which, we shape and put into the baking pan. All right, sorry, please hold on 1 minute. Okay, I was looking for something that was right here. Excuse me. All right, so let's do this. So I've cleared up my work area, and now I have the bread out here. Yep. So sourdough bread is one very gut-friendly bread. It's made with natural yeast. So what we do is that we have to culture the yeast. Yeast is naturally available in the environment. Yeast is everywhere in air. So what we do is that we just have a way of harvesting this yeast. And after doing that, we allow it to ferment. We feed the yeast and then turn it into a starter. It is that natural yeast that we use to make this sourdough bread. Now, this sourdough bread is made over a period of hours. You see, this bulk fermentation has been going on for a long time. So now I'm just trying to cut it into the desired sizes and then let it ferment further. It's a slow ferment bread. That is the reason why it is very, very good for gut health. When I'm talking about gut health, I'm talking about digestion, right? Because it's very gentle on your digestive tract. You don't eat this bread and complain about constipation. You don't eat this bread and complain about bloating. This bread helps the food you eat digest very fast. And of course, it also contains probiotics. For those of you that love Greek yogurt a lot, one of the reasons why Greek yogurt is very, very good for you is that it contains those good bacteria that your body needs. Now, instead of Greek yogurt, or let me just say, the same benefits that you get from Greek yogurt, you get it from this sourdough bread. I hope you get the point now. So sourdough bread is a healthy, natural source of good bacteria or probiotics. So I hope you're seeing how maybe you might not really have a good look at what I'm doing, but I'm shaping it, right? I have to use this workstation so that I can have all the room I need. When you're shaping sourdough bread, you want to be very, very gentle because you want to trap as much air as possible into the bread. You don't want to destroy the air bubbles so that the bread will have that beautiful crust that sourdough bread is meant to have. that beautiful crust that sourdough bread is meant to have is what you want to achieve. So when you're kneading it, you have to be very, very gentle and intentional. I think I'm going to do a class on sourdough bread from scratch to show you how to bake your own sourdough bread at home. And I can also show you how to make your own starter. Okay, I think I'm about rounding off, so I can show you how to fold. This last one I want to fold. I'll show you how I'm kneading it gently, wrapping and folding. Nothing too serious, so that you don't mess up with your gluten. Good. So basically what I'm doing is rolling to the end and pushing it in, rolling to the end. Can you see that? I'm pushing it in, I'm pushing it in, I'm pushing it in. And then when I get this part as smooth as I want, I just pinch it in gently. No too much pressure, right? Something very, very gentle and calm is what you want to achieve here. So this is about it. Our sourdough bread has been shaped. I'm going to be leaving it for the final proofing or the final rising, if you like. So at this point, I have this going on fine. Now let me introduce you to our ingredients for today. Remember I said that the chicken pie we are making today is made with wholesome ingredients, starting with our protein flour, specially formulated by 8-berry. The grains we use for this flour are sprouted. I explained sprouting a little yesterday, and in previous class I'll be explaining a little later as we proceed. The next ingredient we'll be using here is baking powder. Baking powder is a leavening agent that also helps our dough to become crunchy, right, as we bake along. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for that comment. Becky's Kitchen, I see you. And this is our chicken stir fry. It has already been deboned and has been stir fried to give us that delicious chicken flavor in our chicken pie. You're gonna see it and you're gonna love it. Now, because I want to keep it healthy, all you see here are vegetables. There are no calories, there are no cholesterol, they're all vegetables. So my filling here is made with onions, cabbage, steamed cabbage, and then steamed carrots. I made it and sauteed it, and it's really, really delicious. So this is the filling. And then this is salt. Do not ever skip on salt when you're baking. I cannot emphasize this enough. Salt is very, very important. It helps balance up the flavors. It helps helps dough a very, very good structure. So you do not want to ever skip on salt. Whatever you do, please do not ever skip on salt when you bake. And of course, here I have my olive oil. Olive oil is a heart-friendly oil. So for this recipe, we're going to be using olive oil, right? No butter, no margarine, so you don't have to worry about calories. And then, of course, I have bind everything together and keeps it stable, so you do not want to skip on your eggs. Last but not least, cold water. When you're making a pie dough and you want it to be crunchy, you want to use cold water. It helps to hold the dough in place. So my water here is chilled, it's cold, and we're going to be using it for this recipe. So let's get right into measuring the ingredients and combining the dough without too much ado. All right. Yeah. So, okay. The flour here I have here is 250 grams of the protein flour. Remember, 250 grams. This should give you about 5 pastries, five pies, roughly. And I'm going to be weighing in the baking powder. Gives you about 4 grams. I hope you can hear me. You might not be able to see me because Nigeria is happening. We have a power failure, but please just hang in there. We're going to restore power. We have a backup as soon as possible. So I'm looking at you. Okay, Bessa Pemhanai. I am making chicken pie. Chicken pie with sprouted grain protein flour. I hope you can hear me. Hi, I can see you. Chicken pie with sprouted grain flour, whole grain flour. And chicken pie is made with vegetable filling. It's really, really healthy and delicious. I'm using olive oil. We're not using any other fat. We're not using any processed fat. just olive oil for this particular recipe. You might not be able to see me, but I'm sure you can hear me. So please just stay with me. We're trying to get a backup power on. I am fine, Betha. I'm very fine. I hope you're fine as well joining us today. Please just hang in there. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to be with you shortly. Oh my goodness. I'm right here. Yeah, and we're back. Thank you. Thank you, Becky Lee's Kitchen. Thank you. Nigeria is happening to us, but we stand strong. So that's what we're doing. Um, and then remember I said 4 grams of baking powder, and then 4 grams or 1 teaspoon of salt. Right, 1 teaspoon of salt goes right in here. Now we're going to give it a good mix. Who can remember why we use baking powder in baking? I discussed it in making oats and dates and coconut cookies. So you can just give me a quick run through about why we use baking powder. I love you too. I love you and I love your channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot. So comment section. Let's see if you remember why we use baking powder in our baking. Make sure you always mix your dry ingredients very well. You always want to combine so that one side will not have salt and one side will not have no taste, to be flat. You want to make sure you combine it properly. And you're using sugar, one side will not be sweet, one side will not be salty. You don't want that at all. But we're not using sugar in this recipe, so you just want to make sure everything mixes through, right? So we're going to set this aside and start weighing in our wet ingredients. So first of all, I'm going to go in with the egg. I have 1 egg here. I'm going to crack it open and pour it right into the mixture. Boom! I like the sound of that. And then oil. Let me set this aside. We're going to be using 55 grams. Let me use a 1/3 of cup measure to see how many of that. If you're not weighing and you're measuring, exactly just 1/3 cup of oil gives you 55 grams. 1/3. So if you're not weighing, if you don't have a scale, 1/3 of a cup gives you 55 grams. That's the quantity of oil we're using for this recipe. So this goes right in here. Remember I said olive oil, right? But if you have vegetable oil, if you have any oil at all, soybean oil, vegetable oil, olive oil, it can still work for this recipe for your whole grain, delicious, healthy chicken pie. And then we stir before we now go in with our chilled water. Sorry. I think it's too thick for the whisk at this point. So let me go in with my hands. Not minding the messiness. Baking is messy, but it's good messy. I like the messy. Good. So now we're going in with water. I said 110 grams of water, which is supposed to be close to half a cup of water, really. So this is close to half a cup of water. And then we're pouring it right inside, right inside the dough. I'm not pouring all the water that this recipe calls for. I just poured a little bit of it into the mixture. And I have a surprise for you in the oven. Something is cooking. It's already smelling nice, actually. So we do it just, we're not kneading, we're just mixing, combining the ingredients. Hope you can see what we have here. Let me create space here so that you can have a good look at what is going on right here. All right. Can you see this? Good. So we're not needing it to form any gluten structure. If you have joined any of my previous classes, you have heard a lot about gluten. We're not trying to form any gluten structure. We just want the dough to autolyze. I talk about autolyze a lot. We want the water to absorb the flour and let it break down the flour so that it can become easy to manage, easy to mold and to knead. Now this is going to rest. I'm going to show you something now. Before I show you something, let me take a sneak peek at the surprise I have for you so I don't get surprised. Okay. Okay, my surprise is brewing. Oh, wow, this surprise is gonna be very, very good though. Oh, I can't wait. Let me set this aside so that the heat does not destroy my sourdough bread. Exactly. Where were we? So I'm going to show you something. Now look at this. This is exactly what you want to have. This is a rested dough. I'd already mixed it and let it rest. So this is already rested. This is what your dough is going to look like. The chicken pie. First of all, I'm going to cut this into equal sizes. So I'm going to weigh them because in baking, especially when you want to commercialize, you have to know how to measure every single ingredient. Measurement is key. So we don't joke with measurements as bakers, so we do not snooze on it. Snooze, you lose. So let's wait. So I'm just going to be using 100 grams each of the dough that has already rested. See how nice this looks. See how nice. See how well it has come together. Who said healthy eating is boring? God. It's not boring, no. It's not boring at all. Pie, whole grain, made with melted protein flour. For those of you who want to eat healthy, for those of you who are concerned about what goes on in your bodies, this flour is meant for you. So I'm weighing 100 grams each of the pastry, of the dough. You see how it's crumbly? It's supposed to be crumbly. It's not supposed to be holding together. That means that by the time you are done, you're going to get that chewy crust is what you want to have, is what you want your pie to have. Your pie should not have a tough texture. It should not be dense. It should be chewy and breakable. Crumbly. Crumbly is the word. So it should be crumbly. That's exactly why we don't need it. You don't need it. You only mix. I have exactly 7 dough here. And this is what I need for now. So away we go. All right. So now I'm going to start working on this, guys. You can see me. All right. So let's do this. So the first thing we're going to do, just hold them. You know it's already a crumbly dough. So you want to just hold it in place before you start working the dough. Then you flatten it gently. Don't try to break anything or don't remember anybody that made you angry today or good memories only. It's supposed to be a fun and gentle process. So have fun with it as you go. Right? I'm going to lightly flour the surface so that it doesn't stick to the table. Yeah, so this is what you want to do. Thank you very much. This is what you do. Let me prepare my egg wash so that everything is seamless. Egg wash for holding the sides of your pie together. You want to have your egg wash ready. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mama. This means a lot. Thank you so much. All right. So now the egg wash is done. By rolling it, making it flat, make sure you get all the sides level and looking flat and nice. Good. So I'm just eyeballing the shape of the cutter with the flatness of the dough. I don't want it to go too flat and I don't want it to go too thick. It just has to even out. So you see, I'm placing it inside the cutter like so. Make sure that these sides are facing your left and right hand so that you can fold it like so. You can see this, right? Good. So now you go in with your sauce. This is a homemade pie and I'm making it for my family, so I'm going to be as, carefree as possible. But if you are selling, please make sure to weigh. Make sure you have a measuring spoon you use to weigh out all the quantity of filling. It should be uniform. Make sure it's equal. So I'm going in with my veggies. Now I'm going in with my chicken. Be as generous as possible. Yeah, because it's your family. Family is everything, right? Exactly. So I asked the question, baking powder. Baking powder is a leavening agent. Leavening agent means it actually has a lot to do with the flour. It gives it rise, but is a fast leavening agent. Unlike yeast, which is slow, baking powder is fast. So for fast recipes like pies, chin, cookies, baking powder is used. It's not meant to give your pastries a soft feel. It's meant to give them crunch and to introduce air into them. Can you see what this looks like? It looks absolutely amazing. Who said eating healthy can be fun? Can you see this? Can you see this? Can you see this? It's really nice. Good. This is one down and we have 6 more to go. This is exactly what you're going to have at the end of the day. Now let me check the surprise I said I have for you before we go further. Okay. Whoa, this looks really good. My surprise is almost ready. So keep it locked, stay tuned, and wait for the surprise. It's coming. So as I was saying, baking powder, right? So when you're talking about quick rise or quick lift in a dough you're working with, baking powder is used to give you that quick rise or quick lift or whatever it is you want. Then, what is the function of what else? I think I touched on a bit about salt, right? Salt is not only for taste, salt is for structure, and salt helps to balance the flavor of your dough. So you do not want to skip on salt. Very, very, very important. So we're going on with the second one now. Remember I said I have 6 different pies. Why do you need to sprout the grain? Why does 8th burial even bother to sprout the grain we use? The process of sprouting helps release the nutrients that are stored inside the grains. Sprouting is done by soaking the grains. Do you understand? When you soak the grains inside water and you leave them for a couple of days, it begins to grow, begins to germinate. That is the process of sprouting. You see, that growth process releases a lot of nutrients that are locked inside the grain. It is very, very important for you to have that germination look. That helps you know that, this grain is ready, it's sprouted. So at 8th burial, we sprout first, and then we process the flour to give you this beautiful looking protein flour you're seeing here. This flour is very, very, very healthy and nutritious. So if you're a mother who cares about what your children eat and you love making delicious pastries for them, but you're wondering, how can I make healthy pastries for my children? That is why 8th burial exists. We're here to teach you all the tricks in the book. For me, I didn't really get that privilege, and that's why I felt I want to give back to people something I didn't have. An opportunity to be able to learn all there is to know about baking. Everything you see me doing today, most of it I had to learn the hard way. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to learn the easy way. So I'm going to teach you. I'm actually teaching you all there is to know, every step of the way. For any question you have, feel free to ask. I'm right here to answer your questions to the best of my ability. Make sure you do not hold yourself back because of fear. I think my surprise is ready because it's already smelling good and cut through. So on the third one, now I can't wait to show you what this looks like. I cannot wait to show you what this looks like. All right, now it's time to unveil the surprise. Oh, who can see this? The makeshift pan. This is what the pie looks like. And let me show you. That you can have a full view of our pie. While I'm letting it cool down. Oh, can you see this? Can you see the crust? And it opened up a little. It was laughing in the oven. But not to worry. This is for me. I'm here waiting on your behalf. So this is the pie, right? And it looks so good. It looks so delicious. You don't have to put unhealthy things inside a pie. It's healthy, natural, delicious goodness. So let it cool down so that I'll do justice to it on your behalf. I'm going to break it open for you to see the inside, but let my hand not get born. Huh? Let me give it some moments, some minutes to cool down. Yeah, wow, it looks so good, right? Like it? Like what you see? Good, good. Let me hurry up with this because something else is cooking. I have something else cooking. You know, I'm always full of surprises, right? Hi. Hello. Hi. How you doing? See, on my. Okay, I hope I don't destroy your name. But well, hi, CP. Good to have you here. You're welcome. I'm making chicken pie today with whole grain flour, and we're using veggies to make them. Can you believe that? Whole grain flour, we're not using any butter or margarine. We use olive oil to make this. And our filling is made with stir-fried chicken and veggies, cabbage, onion, carrots, deliciously made. Early on, we even made sourdough bread. We shaped sourdough bread. You didn't miss, so you didn't miss at all. You can always join in or watch the uploaded version much later. Hi, ma'am. AK Monty. Hello, AK Monty. How you doing? Please tell me where you're watching us from because some of you are Nigerian. I'm in Nigeria. Nigeria precisely. So where are you watching from? I'd like to know. Please let me know my community and engage with you and have you ask me questions. I want to answer your questions. Please ask me questions. And also, we are live every day by 7 p.m. You're watching me from India, all the way from India. Oh my goodness. So amazing. It's good to have you here in India. What time is it in India right now? And you are a singer. Oh my God. Is this your channel name? So that I can look you up and watch your songs. I'd like to know you and see what you do. It's nice to engage with the singer on this community. So do you also bake? Or you just like watching baking videos? Do you bake? All right. So I think I'm on the last one here. Last but not least. By no means the least. So that I can get on to, it's 12:05 a.m. Wow, that's About a difference of 5 hours between India and Nigeria. Yeah, nice one. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you so much for staying up to watch us. It means a lot. You are a good chef. I mean, it means I have a lot to engage with you on this. Have you ever tried using sprouted grain to bake before? Because what we're using here today is sprouted grain. Oh. Our pastry is made with sprouted grain for this chicken pie. Yeah, can you see this? Our sprouted grain chicken pie, looking and screaming healthy, not just because they are brown, but because they are made with whole grain, sprouted protein grain flour. Awesome, awesome, and very, very delicious. So, the last step is to use the egg wash on them to give that golden crust, that delicious aroma that pies are meant to have, that brown, shiny crust all of us pie lovers love to see. In fact, I will not buy a pie that doesn't have a golden crust. I will not do it. Like if I have to buy one, it has to have a golden crust. The golden crust is made with egg wash. Remember when I just broke the egg and put it inside the plate? Sometimes you can add water to it. Read the dish called curry, a kind of sweet and sour. Okay, which dish am I cooking? I'm cooking chicken pie made with sprouted grain flour. So this is what it looks like, right? My oven is already preheated. I'm just tossing it into the oven right now for it to bake through. But I have one that I had already made and I shared with the class when I brought it out of the oven. Okay, like the one you make in India, right? I think I've seen a whole lot. I don't know if you also make empanadas, like the ones they fry in oil. Something like meat pie, Nigerian meat pie, but they fry them as well. You know, it's just more like a difference of a little ingredient. All of us, all over the world, we have similar foods, but we just make them a little differently, right? So, this is the result, the finished look. Now I break it open. Oh my gosh. Can you see the steam? Can you see what is happening here? The crust, crunchy. Inside, screaming healthy. The veggies, in fact, the color combination, it's already looking attractive. And then you see the chunks of chicken right here. Whoosh. I can't wait to eat it on your behalf. So I'm eating for you all, my dear friends. AK Monty. Cheers. Oh, this tastes this tastes better than I even expected. Oh wow. It's nice. Really nice. Really, really nice. Nigerians and Indians are ancient colleagues as I read in books of history. Exactly. You see, I haven't even read that book, but I felt the same way. So we're brothers, right? Huh. Ooh. Oh, it's hot. All right. So this is exactly what we're baking today. And I hope you have been able to see that. Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope you've been able to see that you can actually make delicious and healthy pastries. Delicious and healthy pastries. They can actually go in one word. Healthy pastries can be delicious, right? And delicious pastries can be healthy. It all depends on what you do and how you do what you do. So, thank you for joining us on today's episode of our 8th burial pastry and bread making class. Keep a date with us tomorrow by 7 p.m. for another interesting, delicious, and healthy recipe that you can make for your friends, your family, or even for business. Please do also like, subscribe, and spread the word about what 8th burial is doing. Thank you so much. See you on the next one. Bye.